Hello, everybody. Welcome to lesson 4, which is called Advanced Commands, and this is probably one of the harder lessons that we have. So it might take a good while to get this one to work, but let's get right into it. So advanced commands. What are advanced commands? Advanced commands are basically the commands we've learned so far is you push a button and it calls, whatever command you have. You're not giving it any information from your subsystem or anything. What we want to do is give it some information. So maybe we give it a number, like something 1 through 10. Maybe if the number we give is lower than 5, it shuts something off. If it's greater than 5, it turns something on. That information is useful for a command in so many different ways. So that we're not just turning on or off something, we can actually give it a true or false to turn it on and off. So instead of the LED thing you wrote where you have one LED on command and one LED off command, you just have one LED command that takes in true or false to turn it on or off, which is a lot easier and a lot simpler than writing two of them. So we got the same kind of thing for your command, except now we're giving it a double, in this case, D variable name. And then it'll use that to finish. So advanced commands, you need to schedule the command, have a button defined before the command. Okay, you can do that. So your challenge is to make the Romi spin a certain number of times using the get left distance inch method. Now that's kind of hard to do, especially since of what you learned so far. It's pretty hard. So where I would start is making sure we have something called get left distance inch in drivetrain. So let's go to the code. If we look in drivetrain, we have a few different methods. We got arcade drive, reset encoders, get left encoder count. Okay, so that's the one we want. Maybe we want get left distance inch. It doesn't really matter which one you use, honestly, as long as you figure out how much each value is. So what the dot get is giving you your raw encoder count. So I think with the Romis, every time the black wheel on here, every time that goes around, that's 8. I think that equals 8. So every time that makes 1 revolution. But as you see, when I spin this, the wheel barely moves. Like the gear ratio is crazy. So if I spin this, that black wheel moves really, really fast. So I don't know what the exact count is, but you're going to get a lot higher numbers with that. With the get distance, you're going to be getting it in inches. So I don't know how it calculates that, but you're going to be getting a lot lower of a number. So you can use either one. Doesn't really matter. Get average distance. We don't really need to do that because all we really need to do is spin one wheel. You could spin both. There's different ways you can get this. So we do have that. Okay, we got get left encoder count and get left distance inch. I'm going to use the distance one just because it might be a little bit more accurate. I don't know. I'm just going to arbitrarily choose that. So we want to create a command, and this will be technically an autonomous command, but I'm going to put it in telecommands because I'm going to press a button and then it's going to do it. It doesn't really matter, but this is how I'm going to do it. I'm going to make a command. I'm going to call it turn amount. Call it whatever you want. Here, I'm going to rename this really quick because I capitalize the T. Make sure you hit OK. Okay, turn amount. We have that now. And it's the same thing. We always need to put our subsystem in. We're going to be using the drivetrain. So we're going to say drivetrain, the underscore drivetrain. Let's put in our global variable, drivetrain, s underscore drivetrain. Something weird is going on right now with the coloring. It's okay. So we're going to say S underscore drivetrain equals D underscore drivetrain, and then we're going to add requirements S underscore drivetrain. So now we added our thing in, but what are the variables we need in order to spin this? So I think we need to know how far the encoder has gone. So let's take in a double, which is a number with a decimal point. And let's keep it like that. So we're taking in a number, and we're going to call well, actually, let me think about this. If I was going to do it, I would say create a global variable, double. I'm going to call this encoder. I'm just going to call it encoder amount. And we're going to say initialize encoder amount equals S underscore drivetrain, and we're going to use one of the methods in drivetrain. Hello, welcome back to lesson 4. Sorry for the brief interruption. I had to reload my workspace because something not good happened. But so what I've done here, all I did was I just reloaded it. I changed this to int because that's what this returns. So if we look into drivetrain here, oh wait, oh, it's called get left distance inch. This is the double. If you use get left encoder count, it's returning an integer. If you get left distance inch, it's returning a double. So let's just go back into here and put this in here and make this a double. Okay, so now we are taking in the encoder amount over and over and over again. And as we do that, we need it to be rotating. We need it to be spinning. And I think what we're going to take in is the speed at which it rotates. I don't know if this is exactly what you're supposed to do, but as long as you're learning what an advanced command is, I don't really care. So if you take in a double, I just make everything doubles. Double speed. And then let's make that a global speed. So we got double G speed, global speed. I don't know. Okay, so now we got that. So now we want to rotate it. So if we go to drivetrain, not that, S underscore drivetrain dot, and then look for a set motor or something. Let's just go look in drivetrain. These are gyros, not down there. Arcade drive. Okay, so we want to call this because we give this an x-axis speed and a z-axis speed. We're only going to be using z-axis because we only want it to rotate. So we're going to be calling arcade drive. Okay, so let's go back to our command here. Drivetrain.arcade drive, and we're going to give it g speed in here, and this is going to be 0 because we don't want it to move forward at all. Okay, so what we have so far is takes in a speed, in execute it loops over get distance, okay, and it moves at whatever speed we gave it. Let's now make it stop. So we want to take this encoder amount, and when this encoder amount is greater than whatever number we want, 10, let's make it 100. Let's make it 20 for now. So when this is greater than 20, it'll stop this and it'll run this end. So what I also want to do is make sure we reset the encoders first. Reset encoders. So we're going to do that first, and we're also going to set the speed to 0 first off, and we're also going to do that on the end, just so when the thing ends, it's not still spinning. Okay, this is looking pretty good. I'm going to call this now from robot container. We're going to put in a button. We're going to do a new button. I'm going to call this X button. And this is button number 2. Actually, change that. So we got X button in here. X button dot on true. We're going to call a new turn amount, and we're going to give it drivetrain, and we're going to give it a speed of 1 for right now. It's its maximum speed, just because it's faster, and I'm lazy and I don't want to watch it for 5 years. Okay, this looks pretty good to me. Let's test it. Let's upload it to the thing. And remember, we're giving it a speed in here, so I want you guys to play around with the speed, see if it still works, see if it still spins the same amount. And we're going to have to adjust the inches too. And try to shoot for like an even number, maybe 10 times. Okay, connect to it. Romi 1. Simulate the code. And then we're going to see what it does in my hands, and then I'm going to put it on the floor so you can see if it works. Always if it works. Okay. The simulator. Alright, always make sure, see if it works normally. Your drive. Alright, I'm going to press the X button and we're going to see what happens. So this is moving back, this is moving forward, so it's spinning. Still spinning. Let's see if it stops. I did give it a lot. Still spinning. I don't know if it's going to stop here. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do something called printing it out in the code, which is we're going to go into our thing here, not LED test, turn them out, and we're going to put in execute system.out.print line. We're going to print out our encoder amount in here just to see if it's actually going to stop at, remember our number is 20. So let's just resimulate this. Let's close this down first. Okay, I'm uploading it again. So we'll see it in this little box down here, this little terminal. Let's see what it's getting to. Okay, that telop. Let's pull up our thing here. Telop, we're looking at this. Press X. Oh, I gotta do it in this window. There it is. So it's going negative. So if we make this a negative thing here, if it's less than, wait, no. Yeah, if it's less than negative 20. Or you could just make whatever the thing is negative. Yeah, okay. Let's try that. Close this down. Simulate robot code. Let's hope it works. There we go. Okay. Hold on, teleop X. There it is. Stopped at 20. 20.11. That's where it ended. So, your next task is to figure out, let's say 10 times. And I want you to be able to change that in the code. I want you to be able to change the number of times it rotates, and then tell me how many times, and I want to watch it happen. And then we'll record it, and we'll put it in here so we have more instances of this. This is a hard one. Good luck, and ask me if you have any questions or if you need any help.